Welcome back. If the last episode is anything to go by, then I'm going to be left oddly traumatised and somewhat satisfied, which is a facet of my personality I'm not sure I'm willing to explore too far. But one thing I do know is that I am still quite confused over what is going on, so maybe you'll indulge me as well. Let's see some more Is This a Zombie? Was that him stumbling around after he was brutally attacked? Yeah, we still haven't had like a origin of how they all met. It's not often you can use that sentence. So did he just happen to collapse in the graveyard, or did she come across him like freshly buried? Of course, that wasn't the worst thing to happen to him. Maybe if you don't want to play into it with your running technique as well, though. No, I am definitely not. Okay. Vampire ninjas, no! I, I'm really unsure on a lot of things in this, but I'm just going to take it on face value. I don't think this goes into too much depth like some other shows that I've been watching, so this might be a nice one to just enjoy. Are we also going to have somewhat of a monster of the week type deal? Because there's these Megalo, I think they're called. And I wonder if they're going to do the same kind of thing that South Park did, where they just kill him off every episode. But of course, he's a zombie, so he doesn't die. See what kind of ways that he can take a beating. Ah, quite a useful ability. I wouldn't mind being some magical girl if I could erase the memories of people who happen to see me and any mistakes. Yeah, there's too much hassle of actually having to deal with things in life. Much easier to take things easy and have lunch. What's going on? Was this the actual exchange that happened, or just what he's imagining? That's quite a lot of omelette. Is it just more of the basically? Is that the only thing she knows how to make? It's a lot of. Yeah, you've got to love it. Surprisingly good fried eggs, though. If it's that to that level, he can start selling them off. So instead of having all of the egg, he's now got a whole shit ton of bread. Well done, you have quite the skill in making fried eggs. Why? Is there some sort of magical power in eggs? Hmm. When there's visible sound effects. Overreaction seems to be a facet of her personality. I thought recently that, Nico. Yes, you've got to feed her so she grows up nice and strong. I. He has quite the imagination, this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of it doesn't actually happen. Yeah, but the amount of rice that I've been making recently, it would almost be easier if I bought myself a rice cooker. Has she ever. Who opened a window? Sure, invite anyone in to join in with dinner. But did he actually oblige her and make the soup? So no one questioned beforehand. The Seraphins, what were they? Is that Norse? No, that's Valkyries. I can't remember what the Seraphins, what they're from. What mythology, at least. And why would you need a necromancer? What a strange a, a ensemble we have here. Some random ninja girl, a necromancer, a maso shoujo, and a zombie. She sure can write fast. Oh no. Yeah, servant. Maybe you should show him that as well, but he's quite accepting of everything, isn't he? Considering how his life has changed relatively quickly. He wouldn't want to, but he's not adverse to it. What is the genre of this show? Is it about food? For some people, probably, yes. How can she kill someone that has no life? A leaf blade. If she was giving him an order, is he going to actually be able to comply? Quite effective for foliage. I expected more after seeing all of the leaves being sliced in half. And what is his powers exactly, apart from, being a zombie and being able to go above and beyond what a normal human can put out because, self preservation stops us? Does she. Is she able to just change her form from leaves so it doesn't matter if he strikes her at all anyway? Knowing that he can stop the swords from actually moving if he just impales himself. That's using your head. She has wings. Is there anything that she doesn't possess? Quite useful. I don't know how often I'd be able to. I don't know how often I'd be able to throw my various appendages if I was a zombie, but. Wait, is she just giving up then? So does he have a normal blood flow being a zombie? How many are how many people are going to occupy his house after all this is over? And why is no one okay? But you usually wouldn't call your master such names. Yeah, someone with his fantasies should not be in charge of anyone. You can't disagree with some of his fantasies, but some of his fantasies shouldn't be given power. Hmm. So what is this a servant in name only? Hmm. Is she still going to be trying to take him out? Don't cut holes in the ceiling, please. People have reasons for various factors of their personalities and origins. Does she just live in the ceiling now? It would be a slightly odd sight compared to what you'd normally see. Though it's probably best not to stare. What an opening line. Oh my god. I mean, you have to give it to him that he doesn't quite know when to give up. Can't say that's a good quality or not, though. She only needed to see it once. Many things. A moron. What is the first impression going to be? Pretty accurate. Maybe I need to update my bio. And what is the reason for her inability to speak? Are we going to learn that, or is it going to be kept as a mystery? But yeah, try not to litter by putting all the bits of paper on the floor. Is he going to turn around and actually see that message? And is this on the day that he did visit that house? But the curtains were closed. I mean, what does he actually hope to achieve? You can call the police and try to at least create noise and disturbance. Is he going to. The reason he was killed because there was someone else investigating this and mistook him for whatever it was causing all of it? I don't know if I've said it before yet, but yeah, the tonal shifts in this are like extreme. We go from breakdancing to serial killers. He is. He's alive, but not. It depends on what your meaning of alive is, what your definition. Now I know a few people that would probably make that trade-off, foregoing life just to have company. And as origin stories go, what is the how much does he spend on food every week or so? Was it sympathy or just some people are far too combative? Yeah, you'll just have to wait until lunch so you can find out. As long as the drink isn't also a fried egg. Something broke the initial her calm disposition. Well, we know how to push our buttons now. I think I realise which word might have ticked her off slightly. And is it strange that her outlook is that despite being a necromancer, or is that more reasonable knowing that she's a necromancer? Stop. What an apology. She didn't seem to have the immediate reaction that the other students and everyone who tasted it had. Did she buy all of those games consoles herself? You want seconds? Well, I would refuse to give her any until she's, at least respectful. But, he's a lovable idiot. I'm more of a acceptable asshole. And yet we didn't see any more of his weaknesses in this episode, like the drying out in the sun and whatnot. Apart from almost breaking his wrist doing, I was going to say normal daily routines, but he wasn't. He was breakdancing, or at least attempting to breakdance. And I think almost definitely said it in the first episode, but yeah, Mew has my energy. I am wondering where this show is going to head, though. With its plot lines in the future, it's trying to set up monsters. It's trying to set up like a vampire ninja war in a village thing. How many subplots do they need to establish before actually getting into anything? Especially with this mysterious serial killer running around and monsters, which for some reason this is the first time that he's mentioned it or seemed to even acknowledge the fact that there are these monsters. Was that when he was attacked by one in the last episode? I thought I'd get some confirmation of what is actually going on in this kind of world that I've been introduced to, but it seems to be more of just character building in this one, which I liked. We saw a bit more of you and what she's like. And she's not quite as passive as was originally let on. I also wouldn't be surprised at all if his school friend was dragged into this somehow and he managed to obtain some sort of power. Maybe a werewolf. Bring out the trifecta. Zombie and vampire. Zombie, vampire, and werewolf. But yes, that was Konoha Zombie desu ka, and hopefully you enjoyed it because, well, you get to see me suffer slightly, although this one wasn't too bad. And it is a relatively fun show. I just still have no idea what I'm getting into. Other shows have kept me confused, and I don't expect any different. Other than wondering about his various amenities and how he's going to pay for it all now he's got several extra lodgers, I'm going to get some rest. And maybe you should too. But before that, if you think I deserve it, or if you think the video was good enough, dropping a like and a comment down below really helps me out. And so that you don't miss anything in the future, you can subscribe. And if you've done that, the notification bell as well, although I'm sure there's some extra settings you have to turn on to make it work properly now. This is fun, and I'll see you in the next one. I do all of this for my entertainment and for yours. But of course I need to thank my Patreons, especially Floritaku, Sal, and Raywin. All of you out there are doing amazing work, and I couldn't thank you enough. Of course, if you wish to join them, then use the links in the description, head on over to Patreon. Or, if you want to join the Discord as well, well, that's a free way of just showing your appreciation, isn't it? So, until the next one, thank you.